Hey everybody, my name is Darcie. Welcome to Star Card Tarot. Today I thought I would do a collective reading just to see where the energies are on, a universal scale. So collective energy reading is when it doesn't matter what zodiac sign you are, all are welcome. You may feel it resonates, you may not. As a intuitive tarot reader, my readings, they're entertainment purpose only. That being said, it just means that, I don't hold any responsibility for choices you make. I see tarot as a way of connecting to spirit. If you want to use it as guidance, that is your free will choice. By no means am I telling you to do so. I just channel and I, read or talk of what I see through the cards and what I feel on an energetic level. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just a person just like you, who I use the cards for my own personal guidance system when it comes to life stuff, right? So the collective reads are usually more deep. These energetic fields that I get are really kind of on a different realm, rather than, like, say, a private one-to-one reading would be much more detail, like day-to-day kind of thing. Even just specific signs are usually more detailed. The further away I go on, like, if you see it as like one person as a personal reading, right? And say the first sign of the zodiac, I'm just gonna say for Aries, right? Taurus, whatever, any sign of the zodiac. So instead of that one-to-one reading, now it's like this many energy fields. Collective is like, you know what I mean? It can go in a lot of directions. So if it's a little over your head, that's okay. Stay tuned for more readings I will be doing each zodiac sign. I'm planning on for the month of July, and I'm going to start putting those out sooner than later. So stay tuned for those. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, I call in the guidance system of all beings of light, love, harmony, balance, all the helpers of this universe. I call in the guardians of the four corners, Mother in the earth, Father in the sky, angels, ancestors, sacred ones. I call on you and welcome you here now. I set the intention that whatever is gained from the lessons learned from these tools will be dedicated to the growth of all beings in all places, and so it is. I'm going to start with this deck. What I just read was actually a part of this deck. I always say it. I think it's just beautifully written. So it is by Kyle Gray, Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. Very powerful oracle deck, and you can see in here the intention or prayer, mantra, chant, whatever. I call it a intention setting prayer. That's what I call it. I say that before all my readings. I say that before all my readings. Alright. There is no time frame for this. I am trying to pick up the energies of, like, from today, which I'm doing this reading on June 13th, Saturday, 2020. Well, it's Saturday where I am, so it's June 13th, 2020 where I am. Collective read. It's just, I felt called to do this because there's so much going on. Things feel collectively, energetically, like they're starting to calm down. That might not be the case for where you are in the world. that's how I feel is on the bigger scale. Even if it doesn't look that way for you right now, what I'm picking up on is that even though we as humans on this 3D world may not see or feel like that is the case, maybe we do, and that's great. But definitely on the higher realms, it is, you know. And I am a firm believer that, I can start hindsight is 2020, which is kind of punny for this year, right? But yet it's a lot of serious things have happened, of course, and I make no laughter of that, in respect to people's feelings, of course. And I too have had my own emotional I want to say like pitfalls or times of deep reflection, definitely in the shadow aspect of self. So it's been quite a journey, but in such little time. It's it's only, I guess, halfway through the year almost, and yeah. So let's see where we are. Excuse me. Okay, ancestors and angels. What is the message for the collective? What is the message for the collective in this container? What is the message for the collective in this container? Show me clearly. What is the message for the collective? Just wanted to make sure that was all they wanted was one card. We're keeping it simple. Alright. So the ancestors have for us, this card is the Water Guardian. Connect with your emotions. I'm just listening to the card. I'm taking in the message right now. Sometimes I get things from the pictures that I don't, or I hadn't seen before. It's always about the message. Okay. Oh wow. See, I just noticed something I never noticed before in this picture. Huh, interesting. Okay, so what I'm getting from this card is quite a few things that are new for me. At first I focused here on these pearls, right? And it's almost like, obviously I feel like it's about her third eye. It's a woman on this picture, clearly. This is a collective, okay? She is a guardian. So whenever a guardian comes out, that means that if you're feeling like you're disconnected emotionally, if you're feeling kind of numb or raw from everything that's occurring either in the world or in your personal life or both, to call on your water guardian or water angel, whatever feels right for you to say, and she will help you with those emotions, to connect with them, to dig deeper. This guardian, she has no fear of emotion. She really feels that emotions are what quenches our thirst of life, is what I'm hearing. As a society, for a very long time, emotions were something that were like, oh, you don't do that. You do not do emotion unless it's happy or, working hard or like determined, It was a very emotions were very much, for most of history, at least some, past couple 100 years, were something to not be talked about or shown. I just heard, like, in the time of Greek, like, not mythology, well, yeah, like Greek, not mythology, but when Greece was, like, Rome was a big empire and stuff, emotions actually were a little actually more of, not, I want to say available, but like anger was okay, like it was a little different, whereas if you look back past 100 years, anger was not okay, it wasn't, unless you were going to war. It's like over time emotions became more and more boxed in, I guess is what I'm trying to get through, is what the message is saying, what she's talking to me about right now. She's talking about how through history emotions have been able to come out of this man-made prison. Some were put back in. At some point almost all of them were in this prison, right? And so she's here talking about the new generation. She's talking about the new generation that's here, who's not afraid of emotion, which is very much seen now, especially. And I never heard that part of the message from her before. And what brought me to that, I hope this lighting thing is hard. Okay, see the highlights in her hair? That wasn't really, anything that people did until the 2000s, millennials, right? Maybe late 90s it kind of started, but like it really, especially nowadays, a lot of people have these colors in their hair, right? When I saw that, she made it very clear that she's talking about, for the collective, that this new generation, the younger generation, is showing the world that all emotions are equally okay to have. All of them. None of them shall be or should be excluded from life or made felt to be shamed about in any way. And she is just as tired of that as you all or we all are, right? Wow. Powerful. She also has a sacred geometry on her shoulder. Wow. I don't know what the technical meaning of this symbol is, but what I see is the triad. All I keep thinking of is Zelda. I'm sorry, I'm such a gamer, but I don't know if any of you know that game, but there's like the triangle, then there's like an upside down triangle within it, and that's what he's like trying to achieve or something like that. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's on her shoulder. Let me try to put the light on it again, see if you guys can see it. It's really hard. I could barely see it. Do you see that little white symbol on her shoulder? So, but it looks like it's inside of a box. And, triangles represent a type of stability. Having it, it's like also having an upward triangle and then a downward triangle within is like also telling me about, upward triangle is for masculine or masculinity energies. The upside down triangle is for feminine energies, and that they are like within each other, but it looks like surrounding it looks like they're in a box, right? And that's so interesting that the first message I got was about having these emotions to be okay, and they need to all come out of this humane or human-made, man-made box thing that like society or time or government, whatever, I don't know, people in general have made. And it's like an imprisonment. She's talking about how the new generation is freeing everyone from that box. They're freeing all of us. There's also rain coming down. I just noticed that. There's some raindrops, but they almost look like stars falling. And another thing about millennials is like a lot about mermaids and things like that, and she has like a mermaid, sorry to like give you a close-up of her breast, but well, you know what, I'm not sorry, it is what it is. Yeah, but there's scales there, right? So she's like also half mermaid. Definitely speaking about this the younger generation, the millennials, bringing great change to the emotional freedom, the connection to emotions that our society has been lacking for a really long time. The underlining message is Father Sky. He's come up in every collective reading I've actually done, either live or published. Many of them were on this online festival page that I am a part of, called the Galactic Fire and Earth Elders. This came up many times. She came up one or two times in April. He came up a lot ever since the pandemic happened, and the world kind of paused, right? So Father Sky, trust in the unknown. I apologize about the... I'm just going to try to wipe my camera, I'm sorry. See if that's better. A little bit. I just want you guys to be able to see it. This is so unprofessional. I'm so sorry. So Father Sky, trust in the unknown. So he's clearly like, if there was to be an image of God, of the Almighty Creator, because the way this is very much Native American beliefs and things like that. They have Father Sky, Mother Earth. They have a card here of Mother Earth or Mother Gaia, right? It says Mother Earth, I'm pretty sure. So this is the Father Sky card. So if there was to be a face to him, this is what he would look like. And it is something about this drawing of this man's face. And I think more so he's connecting him to this eagle, as if the eagle is the third dimensional replication of the eye of God. Wow, that's what just came through. I'm not sure if that's actually something Native Americans know or like already believe or something, It just came to me just now. I also kind of see this as the Tower card, in a sense. Like, if I was to refer it to a card in the tarot, I would say it's a lot like the Tower card. The Tower card has a lightning bolt as well, and it has this crown, which is representative of God, or, you know, creator, universe. We'll just say God for easier terms. So it's a divine intervention, is what it is. The crown represents the divine, and the lightning bolt is the divine striking the tower down because it was built on a really bad foundation. Right? Tying into this, like, this planet, our countries, maybe not, I won't speak for all of them, but I'm from the US, so I'll just speak on this one. And this is just what I'm seeing in the cards. What I'm seeing in these cards is that our country was built on a really bad foundation for emotional health. And it's time for that to change, among probably a lot of other things. But only having this card here right now of the Water Guardian, I'm just going to specifically speak about that. So, to trust in the unknown, you know, like, this new generation might be kind of fearful to some of the older generation, but Father Sky, God, is really saying, this is right. It is right. What's crumbling is meant to crumble. I have the all-seeing eye, is what Father Sky, God, is saying. This eagle, he sees everything. He sees from such a high perspective, right, where our our finite human selves, right, or our third-dimensional point of view. I don't like saying that we're finite, because I kind of feel like we're actually a lot more powerful than we've been taught. But that's just me. But from our viewpoint, I can only see, like, this up, and, you know, where the eye of God can see everything, you know, clearly, very clearly. Even intuitives and psychics, you know, can only see so much, and usually need some assistance with it in some manner, you know. At least that's my experience. You know, I'm not really, I can only see what Source Creator allows me to see, if that makes sense. So, you know, this Father Sky sees everything, and yeah, he realizes it's a little scary for everyone, or for some. He's saying, you know, trust in the unknown, and these new changes, these new outlooks on life, it is probably a feeling of, like, well, what will happen if we break down things that have been there for so long? Saying, no, it's supposed to, you know, this is happening for a reason. To trust. And if you can connect to your emotions, you know, even when, so in the beginning I said this card was representing that all emotions are okay, you know, and yes, it's a specific generation I'm feeling from this card that's, like, sparking that, like, you know, that realization, that truth. All emotions are alright, right? You're allowed to feel anything you want to feel. Anyone who says it's wrong is somehow in their own shadow of illusion, I guess. I'm trying to put it nicely. You know, every emotion is meant to be felt because we're humans, right? We have all these emotions for a reason, right? Like, it's not a mistake. I just heard the saying, and I love this saying. Someone told it to me when I was like 20. They said, because I was really hard on myself when I was younger, really, really, really hard and ashamed of everything about me, and my heart breaks for my younger self. But I'm happy to say I really do love myself, and yeah, this is crazy. When I look back, I'm like, wow. But what they said to me was, they realized I was being really hard on myself, and they said, Darcie, God doesn't make junk. And I was like, wow. Like, that was the first time I felt like, oh, even though, I may have been told, or by society's, like, standards, I wasn't living up to potential or whatever, that I wasn't junk for who I am. I am who I am. I am who I am, who I am, who I am. Yeah. Beautiful. Really comforting message from Spirit, I feel right now, just telling us collectively, like, to feel and connect. Feel all the feels. None of them are wrong. Don't feel guilty for feeling it. You're allowed. You are allowed. I'm not just telling you you're allowed. This water guardian is saying it is allowed. Everything you feel is allowed. And under the Father Sky, trusting in the unknown, is She-Wolf. I love this card. And I also felt called to do this reading because of all the, I think there's like a full moon eclipse or something, or a new moon, lunar eclipse. It's in Cancer. And it's either a full moon or a new moon. I could check I'm looking at my calendar. Like, hanging up, I could go check. And She-Wolf, unleash the wild within, and this talks all about just like expressing that like intense, fiery, passionate creation, and just like all that stuff that you may feel is like too intense. It's not. It's probably needed so much in the world right now, as long as, like, obviously don't physically hurt people. Like, I know I'm saying all emotion is okay, and it is. I wouldn't, say, like, you can, beating, I think, is, that's different. That's not an emotion, that's a physical act. I just don't want it to get confused, alright? We're speaking of emotions, not physical acts. All emotions are okay, Yell at the moon, howl at the moon, write a song, do something, let out all of that inside. Just let it out. And if it's joy, like, let it out too. Write a silly song, or I don't know. Record your own stand-up comedy show and put it on YouTube. I don't know. Whatever you feel like is creative and expressive of your emotions, that's like healthy, towards that direction of, I mean, sometimes it might not feel healthy. I mean, I've written things that I'm like, oh my god, should I really write this down? Yeah, and I mean, if you feel like it's like you need to express it by moving, take a boxing class or something. You know, like, I'm not saying that those feelings aren't, they are definitely a part of life. I mean, look back through history, you can see that. But of course, you know, there's ways that we can express those. And it'll be healthy for us and healthy for the people around us. I think you catch my drift. Okay. So that's what the ancestors want to say. Let's see what the angels have to say. Angel guides for the collective. You can't make this up. The underlining message: let yourself feel all your emotions, clear quartz. You saw me shuffle this, yeah? Okay. Clear quartz. Clear quartzes are pretty easy to find, actually, if you have any. They look like this. So they are one of the best crystals to have because you can also set intention to transform them into any crystal you need. Like if I needed rose quartz, let's just say. I can set the intention for this to be a rose quartz, and it will be. And it doesn't have to be a quartz, it can be anything. I'm looking at the crystals I have. If I needed it to be a moonstone, I could set the intention for it to be a moonstone. Right? This is what a moonstone looks like. Alright, so let yourself feel all your emotions. Your entire rainbow spectrum of feelings is sending you important messages and guidance. I'm going to read that out of the book after. Let me see what these ones are too. Then we have, wow, Azurite, deep emotional healing. Your heart is ready to heal from past experiences, and you are willing to devote time and energy toward therapeutic care. Your heart is ready. Yeah, the collective is feeling that their hearts are ready to heal from the past, from everyone's individual past experiences, right? And a lot of people are feeling ready to devote some time and energy towards therapeutic care, therapy, yoga, massage, acupuncture, Reiki. It's time to really take care of our emotional selves as a collective. This is really amazing. Opal, let yourself sparkle and shine. You are guided to be bold and show your bigger than life side to the world. Is that not the She-Wolf card? Wow. She-Wolf card was saying let the wild within, or let out the wild side within, or something like that. And this is saying the same thing. Wow. So these stones will also be really useful. Opal is also pretty popular and common stone, even if it's in jewelry, like an opal ring or necklace. If you wear that, that'll be very helpful for yourself. Again, clear quartz can be found in a lot of different stores. Usually, more nature or natural-based stores, or crystal stores, things like that. Azurite is probably the hardest one to find, I would think. You can probably find any of these online, though. Azurite will help with your emotional healing as well. But so will clear quartz and opal. So this is what the Azurite one looks like. And there's like a fire burning underneath here. I'm trying to move this light again. So as you can see, there's like little angels. Sorry for my chair squeaking. And so to me this card is like, the blue is like our emotional uprising, right? As the collective has had an emotional uprising as a collective for a lot of reasons. You know, first the pandemic, and then with the protesting for, you know, police brutality and equality. Finally having equality, right? You know, being bold and showing our bigger to life side to the world. And I think the collective has done that. And it's mostly the younger people, but I have seen older generations too coming in, you know, who have probably laid dormant for a while. Maybe not all, but some. And it's like so beautiful to see the older people in there, you know, just like, yes. You know what I mean? They probably feel so freed. Oh God, I can feel it. I can feel like the freedom of that for them. Like the knowing that it's, God, that momentum is like so strong. Yeah, this card is all about just being you. Authentic, non-apologetic you. You know? And our heart is like blossoming these beautiful roses. And her crown, her third eye and crown, her third eye is lighting up, meaning she's seeing very clearly. And then her crown is like overflowing in these rainbow rays, which are extremely powerful. And if you look up what the rainbow rays mean for healing or on a quantum level, it's a lot. So if you're interested, I suggest looking that up. Wow. I just got this connection. And then so the overline with the crystal quartz, let yourself feel all your emotions. Your entire rainbow spectrum of feelings is sending you important messages and guidance. Again, there's a connection here with the rainbows coming from the opal, angel, crystal, and the clear quartz. So I did say I would read out of the book for that one. It opens to Azurite, so I'm going to take that as a guidance to read all of them. Azurite, deep emotional healing. So this is for this card here. Okay, I'm just going to let you guys look into the card. Hopefully you guys can see it with not too much of a glare. Oops, and not upside down. This is a positive card, showing that you're ready to process and move on from painful experiences and trauma. This means that you're open to receiving healing energy and insights about your experiences. You're guided to devote time for your personal healing work. This may involve appointments with a therapist or healer, or spending extra time in prayer, meditation, or on self-care practices. Detoxification from chemicals and processed foods and also negative influences comes up very strongly for you right now. So also the number 33, if you're seeing the number 33 a lot right now, that means that's confirmation that this card is especially speaking to you. You know, so maybe a detox either to detoxify from any kind of, just to eat more clean food, more greens, more organic, however you can, or even if it's just simply drinking more water, if you can't do for whatever reason, because I know it can get kind of like expensive to eat completely clean. I know I've done it. Even just drinking water is a step forward. You don't have to be perfect in any of this, right? And then so 33 or 34. 34 is more about the detoxification. If you're seeing 34 a lot, I just noticed it was 34 seconds when I said that. Then that is for you. If you're seeing 33 a lot, then seeing a therapist or healer, spending extra time in prayer, meditation, or on self-care practices, devoting time for your personal healing work, that would be more for you. Okay. All right. I guess I'll read all of them. Opal. They're saying go in order. Okay, clear quartz. Clear quartz, let yourself feel all your emotions. This card guides you to open your heart to the entire rainbow spectrum of emotions. This is a key to feeling great love. By allowing yourself to acknowledge the not so pleasant feelings, you drop defenses and open your heart. Allowing yourself to acknowledge the not so pleasant feelings. You drop defenses and open your heart. That is so true. I've recently learned this for myself. Allowing myself to feel anger, sadness, and that it exists actually allows me to heal and open up more and not be hurt. It makes me stronger. I've really noticed this for myself. It's no lie, and that may be to some of you guys, but it was news to me. We're all in our own healing process, Alright, so anyhow. So it says here, when we deny the existence of anger, sadness, and such, we close off parts of our hearts. And the denial means that these feelings become repressed, stuffed down, and hidden, where they can affect our mental, emotional, and physical health. If you're seeing the number 41, that message is especially relevant for you, or it's trying to get your attention. This card can be a sign of receiving valuable, creative inspiration based on some challenges you've experienced. So it's saying that if this is resonating, then this card is also about having a creative download or inspiration based on the challenges that you've had in your life and using them towards the good. So now you want to help others overcome and avoid these same challenges, right? By delving into the unpleasant feelings through creative expression, you allow others to know that they are not alone in their feelings. This could be a business idea, a form of healing, a book or workshop, or some other service or product that will help those who are experiencing similar difficulties. So yeah, clear quartz amplifies any energy it's near. Clear quartz refracts light into rainbow rays. It helps clear away negativity and dissolve blocks. So yeah, clear quartz is awesome to have right now. Just gonna rub on mine for a second if you don't mind. An opal. There we go. Let yourself sparkle and shine. Now is the time to reveal your personality and shine brightly. This card comes up whenever you have been hiding your light for fear of being too much. All of these are so on track, wow. You are guided to show your larger-than-life side. Laugh heartily, express your opinions freely, dress boldly, and don't hold back. You inspire others to shine their light through your living example. This card can also be a sign of expressing and clearing any anger you've been repressing in a relationship. Wow, remember how I felt the connection to the clear quartz because of the rainbow? And there's the connection in writing right there about, expressing or clearing anger. In particular for Opal, it's about relationships. In particular, take healthy action in. Also, this is first, so if you are having some anger in a relationship, and this is on page 69, so either the number 69 if you've been seeing that a lot, or 70, or the number 7. Yeah, the number 7, because 6 plus 9 is 7. So the number 7, if you've seen 7, 7, 7, just 7, 7, 7D, 69, 96, 107, no, that would be, okay, forget 107, I don't know why I said that, maybe for someone, I don't know, then this message is for you. So I just lost what I was saying, sorry. In particular, take healthy action in a marriage where hidden resentment has negatively affected the romance and friendship within the partnership. Marital, wow, I just said material. That could be maybe a discussion of where the anger is coming from. It definitely would make sense for the times that, well, not just the times we're in, but like this whole reading was kind of, I think the underlining may have been based on that, like the destruction of the old ways. What it actually says is marital counseling or mediation is advised to bring about healing and resolution. And about Opal, this fragile, light refracting stones are formed from silica and water, while connecting to the emotion, the guardian of emotions. Opals are celebrated for their fiery coloring and their association with spiritual alchemy. Wow, they can amplify hidden wishes and feelings as well as your intentions for manifesting. So spiritual alchemy, so 6-9. 6-9 also, for me, is the yin-yang, masculine and feminine counterpart, divine partnering, right? So like, if this is this, I'm gonna try to do this, right? If this is the 9 and this is, no, I'm not doing this right. 9, okay. How are you guys saying it? Okay, so if this is the 6 and this is the 9, you know, it like the interlock. You see what I'm saying? Like a yin yang. I can't do this for the life of me. There we go. We got this. You know what I'm saying. So it's really saying that if there is anger in a marriage or relationship, I'm feeling, and it might just be for some that watch this video, I'm feeling that the message is to really get some guidance and counseling, some sort of mediation, even just a third party to like listen to both sides and outside, like if obviously someone you trust, of course, and know, but you know, maybe someone who is capable of doing that, a viewer, you know, or putting on that therapist's mindset, if you will. If you don't have someone like that, then to seek some sort of counseling and therapy for you guys, because I'm really feeling like for some reason at this time people are together for a very specific reason. I'm just feeling that very strongly for some of you. I'm not saying it's everyone, I'm just saying if that's resonating with you, then it is probably for you. I also need to say that if it is any sort of violent or, you know, if it's abusive, you know, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about just like a resentment, just some anger, you know, not anything that's clearly damaging. You know what I mean? Okay. That's all I have for you today. It's already been 50 minutes. Oh my gosh, my readings are so long. I don't know how I can shorten them. I try, but... Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, right now is time for us to release our emotions, to heal our emotions, to appreciate, to accept our emotions. That is what Spirit is telling us, and I hope that was helpful for all that watch this. Sending you wishes of abundance, blessings, healing, and love, laughter, and authenticity. Best wishes. Keep shining.